All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We here at the ORCA team are happy to bring you the open house for business for the new ORCA system. We've worked a lot on this, and we're really happy to finally be at a place where we can welcome you in and show you everything that's coming in the new system. Like I said, welcome. My name is Adam. I've been with the ORCA team for over 4 years now, and so I'm really happy to share this. First off, an example of the new system's accessibility for all riders is this slide, which shows you all of the languages that will be available to riders all across the ORCA system, from the app to the vending machines to the new website. Riders will be able to access a language that better suits them and their experience. A quick note, as you're going through these slides, if you want to access the whole package of materials online, that QR code is available to scan. So the agenda for today's presentation is right here. We'll start off with an explanation of why we are upgrading ORCA in the first place. We'll jump into some benefits and changes for your businesses. There's a lot coming your way, so we're going to do our best to explain everything to you so you're ready for the transition, including a look at myorca.com, which is going to be the front door to all things ORCA and should make your life as a business employee or lead for ORCA much easier. And we'll give you a timeline of the project. This ORCA transition is going to be phased in its approach. Not everything will be available on this first day. So we're going to let you know when different features are coming online. We're going to let you know what you need to do to make life easier for you and your employees and everybody that rides transit using ORCA. We're going to give you some resources that you can use going away from the meeting, getting ready for transition. And then we will also include some answers to commonly asked questions that we've received from the public. So at this time, I will hand it off to Brittany.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We're excited to give you this information. So I'm going to start with just a little orientation that hopefully everyone should already know, but just in case you don't, I'll catch you up. So ORCA is the payment method for paying transit fares in the Puget Sound region. It is one card that you can use across all the transit modes shown on your screen there. And it's been in place since 2009, so a little over 13 years that we've been using the current ORCA system. At kind of pre-pandemic levels, at least 2/3 of customers were paying for their transit trips with their ORCA cards, which I think is great. And that really speaks to how helpful it is to have one common payment method across all those modes. Move into the next slide. I wanted to just kind of right up front talk about why we're replacing the system that customers really use and know and love. We do know that customers really like the speed of ORCA and, like I said, the ability to travel across the region with that one card. However, the current system that you're using today has reached the end of its useful life. We're literally not able to order more equipment to meet the needs of our growing transportation network. So as we're adding, bus rapid transit lines and as we're adding rail stations, we can't order the equipment to outfit those stations. The contract is also expiring, and very excitingly, technology has changed quite a bit since we launched 13 years ago. There have been some evolutions in the payment space, and so we want to not only build a system that is current today and modern, but also one that can be forward looking and be able to adapt to changing needs of customers as well as changing technology. So we're very excited about the new system that we're bringing that is modern and forward thinking. While this is largely what we're launching with here shortly is a replacement system, we do have some good changes coming ahead that we wanted to make note of. So when we started the effort, to strategize and plan for the system, we first turned to our customers and we wanted to know from them not only the things they really like about ORCA, so we can keep those things, but also what are their biggest pain points? What are the changes that we can address with the new system to make this better for everyone? So we've got kind of the top 4 dislikes of the system shown on the screen here, and I'm going to talk through each one of those to tell you how we're addressing that need. First and foremost, the most common concern that we hear is the card loading delay. So I'm really excited to share that after we complete our transition in the next few months, there will no longer be waiting 1 to 2 days to see money and products added to your ORCA card. Because this system is account-based instead of card-based, and because it's connected in real time, customers will experience instant transactions as they're leaving their home and going to catch their train or their bus or their ferry. Second, there will be more ORCA vending machines in the region to increase the number of sales locations, as well as we're doubling the number of retail stores. So this would be like a Safeway or a QFC or a place where you can go in and get and load your ORCA card. We're excited that there's going to be twice as many locations, more geographic reach there in our region. So customers can load cash to their accounts. They can use other payment methods to load their account, really in an effort to improve equity for our customers and just make things more convenient. The third item there, we know that there's challenges and limitations with the website today. We're not only giving it a fresh look and improving the capabilities, but we also have an interface there that we're able to update more easily and have a little more control over. So not only are we launching this new website here in a few weeks, but we'll be able to adapt it more readily with new functions and new information as we go. And then finally, I know there's a lot of interest in this. We hear a lot from customers about this, but currently there's no mobile solution. There's no mobile app. So obviously we're addressing that by launching a new mobile app here in a couple weeks. That will allow customers to manage their accounts on the go and just give an additional way for customers to interact with us and maybe even cut down on trips to customer service offices. So I do want to talk a little bit about what to expect in the coming months, kind of our immediate first phases of our timeline. Today, out in the field, you may see vending machines getting replaced and card readers getting replaced. We do live in ORCA today have over 6,000 devices that we need to go and swap out the old equipment for the new equipment. So we've gotten a jump start on that by replacing some of the equipment. That equipment is not intended to be live at the moment. We're just kind of getting ready for this launch that we have coming in that second set of circles there in a couple weeks here, less than 2 weeks. May 16th, 2022, customers will begin to get their hands on the new system. We're going to be launching the new website that we talked about. We're going to be launching the new mobile app for account management, and this will really be the beginning of a period that we call transition for our customers. So the new ORCA vending machines and card readers will be turned on and working at that point, and we will just start swapping out all the old devices for new devices over the next couple of months. I do want to warn customers here that they will encounter both old and new equipment in their journeys during that time. But the good news is keep using your current ORCA card. Whether you're tapping to an old card reader or a new card reader, just keep using the same card. They are talking to different back-end systems, but we're marrying up all that information. So keep tapping and just keep on riding during that time. I will say by the time we reach the end of that couple month transition period, we'll be fully online, the new system. There won't be this confusion of different card readers. And we'll try to keep things as simple as possible, as seamless as possible during this transition time. But just want to say thank you so much for your patience while we're transitioning from this one live complex system to another. There will be a little bit of bumps along the way, but we're excited for where we're going to be after a couple months are up. So speaking of, once we transition through all the old equipment, we're going to be able to introduce two new things. The first is the retail stores that I talked about. That's when we can finally bring that double the locations online. And then we'll also be able to introduce the new ORCA cards at that time. There's no need for anyone to run out and get a new ORCA card. But if you do rely on retail for loading your cards, you are going to want to get a new one. Chris will talk more about that in a little bit. But again, there's no need. You can continue to use your existing ORCA card for most cases. So now looking ahead a little bit, we're not done after that transition's complete. You can continue to expect the release of new features. And one of those features, again, that we know that customers are excited for will start to come online in 2023. And that's something that we call tap to pay. So this is taking your smartphone and using that to tap, and you don't need the plastic card. You'll be able to use your phone as what we call a virtual card. There's a reason why we're not able to launch that right away. We wanted to focus on replacing the base ORCA system first, and then start rolling out the new features and functionality. If we waited to kind of get all the parties in line and all the development done from that. We would be talking about a later launch, so we're prioritizing the new system first. But to that end, we have, as I said, we built a system that can really grow as needs and technology change. And so this was always our intent, to have a phase system, not only with the initial phase and then the tap to pay functionality, but with wherever customers and our agencies want this system to go. We can grow, based on the integrations that we're interested in adding, like with other transportation modes, ride share, car share, bike share. There's so much that we can do. So we want to hear from you. Please use myorca.com to give us information about changes you want to see in ORCA, and look for changes to come throughout future years. So this is my final slide. I know I've focused a lot on kind of the general customer experience, but I do want to focus in on, since most of you are business account managers and leads, I want to focus in on some of the benefits for businesses and institutions that use ORCA for your employees. So we also have some great changes for you. About 6 years ago, when I first came on board, we started talking to business account managers and said, what do you want to see different in ORCA? And this is coming full circle that I'm excited to introduce some of these changes we're making. First and foremost, I'm going to start in the top left there. Today, businesses can't do auto loads for their employees or students. And so the great news is you'll be able to set up auto loads for ePurse Value and past products. And you'll see that reflected in the system instantly because of this real-time account-based system. Second, you'll be able to do bulk uploads with an improved process, and that improved process also includes instant error reporting, which should be helpful in sorting things out. Next, for assignment and reassignment, today that's all done outside of the system, and so if you'd like to, that can be done in the system with our new launch here. And then the last one on that top row, you'll be able to report on account activity and balance in real time again. I can't say that enough. And so you'll be able to get information about, the total balance. I do say total there since we continue to want to adhere to our privacy policy. We're not talking about, a new ability to see individual transaction history of, employers or students. We still will respect the privacy policy there, but having that real-time information, I think, will be a great benefit to everyone. Now, moving down to the bottom row, we have a simplified process for bulk orders. I know that was an area of struggle for current business account administrators, so that's definitely a great benefit. Also, there will be multiple administrator logins, so you don't all have to use the same account. You can have more than one account, and not only that, there's multiple layers of permissions, so you can have a regular admin and a super admin with additional permissions. So I know that's a welcome change. The new system supports pre-tax transit benefit programs. So when a business makes a purchase, they can mark it as pre-tax, and there's really kind of two purses that will be on the accounts. And then finally, last but not least, you'll be able to ship cards to multiple locations. So I hope for some of you, those are welcome changes. Again, this is in response to a lot of what we heard from people wanting to see coming out of the existing ORCA system. So with that, I will hand things over to Chris to talk about what's coming.
Thanks, Brittany, and thanks everyone for being here today. We appreciate your time and hope this information is helpful to you. My name's Chris. I'm from the marketing team at ORCA, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the specific details and information you need to know over the next few weeks to successfully make the transition from the current ORCA system to the new ORCA system. So the first and probably the most important date over the next few weeks is Monday, May 16th. That's what we're calling our launch, but that's really the beginning of this transition that we've been talking about. The down payment on that transition that's going to happen over time is going to be the new equipment that you see out in the world at different stations on vehicles. And then also the myorca.com website and MyORCA app. Taking a step back from Monday, May 16th, which will be day one for the start of the new system, over the weekend prior, that's Saturday, May 14th through Sunday, May 15th, participating ORCA agencies won't be collecting fares. We're going to be doing some final changes, switching over computer systems, doing things kind of behind the scenes. And we just want to make that as seamless as possible for customers. So we're going to take paying fares off the table on those 2 days while we get that stuff done. There are some exceptions to that. If you are driving a vehicle onto a Washington State ferry, you can't use ORCA for that. You'll need to use another form of payment. But if you're walking on to a ferry, you can show your ORCA card and get on without paying a fare on those 2 days. So here's some important information for our business account customers who are currently using orcacard.biz. Again, we're going to be making a transition away from orcacard.biz to myorca.com, and there's a couple administrative steps we need to do to make sure that we get all of our orders processed and everything closed out to make that happen. First, we want to make you aware of some dates. On Monday, May 2nd, orcacard.biz will be limiting card orders to 200 cards or less per order. Again, we want to reduce the number of card orders that are coming through our system to make sure we can fulfill them before we shut down the website. We'll take that one step further on Monday, May 9th. We'll limit card orders to 10 per order. And then on Thursday, May 12th, the website goes out of service at the end of the day. So there will be a period of time between Thursday, May 12th and Monday, May 16th, where there won't be a business website that's up and running. But on Monday, May 16th, you can go to myorca.com, access your account, and manage your program there, and it'll be back to business as usual with card orders. Another thing we want to let you know is what are transit riders being told? What are we sharing with them, and what do they need to do throughout this transition? We want to make sure you're aware of that, so you know what your employees or plan participants might be hearing. First of all cards will work. There's no need to replace your card. That's the same for business accounts. It's the same for individual transit riders. The ones that are out there, we've tried to make this as seamless as possible. So as Brittany mentioned earlier, the cards that are out there today will continue to work with the new system. Good news here for businesses and transit riders alike. Our card price for new adult cards is going to go down from $5 to $3 on Monday, May 16th. Just as a reminder, reduced fare cards are still no cost for the first one. And also replacement cards for reduced fare participants will go down from $5 to $3 as well. For website customers, those again are transit riders that are managing their account with myorca.com individually. Whenever they need to add passes or value, they can go ahead and create an account, a new one at myorca.com. Or they can do the same thing with the MyORCA app on their iPhone or Android. They can't use their old username and password from orcacard.com. They're going to need to set up a new account. The good news is when they link their card, all their balance and card information will be there. So the balances and products will transfer over to that new site. One thing that won't transfer over, and this is really a security consideration because it requires credit card and payment information, the auto loads that customers have set up on orcacard.com will not transfer over to the new website. And again, that's just because we don't want to convey things like credit card numbers and things like that. So they'll have to create an account and set those up again for the future months. Finally, retail customers. Retail locations will continue to sell cards and add value, but we're going to be expanding that network by twice the number of stores, which is great. It's based on a gift card system, so the ability to launch that and multiply the number of stores so quickly means that we'll be using existing sales system that require a barcode to scan the card and load value. The reason that customers who use retail stores will need a new card is because the old cards just don't have a barcode on the back. We're super excited about the new look and feel of the new card on the front, but the real reason we're launching a new one is to make sure there's a barcode there so that the stores can load value. This only impacts customers that are only using retail. So customers that are willing to continue to use vending machines, they want to use our website or app, or if they want to work with customer service over the phone or in person, they can still use the existing cards. They don't need to replace their card. Another thing that we want to make you aware of on the transit rider front is the new employee app for MyORCA. Customers will be able to log in. They can register the card that you issue them through your business account, and they'll be able to see the card in there and things like that. We just want to make you aware that they could be using an app just to kind of track their card that way. They can also manage other cards that aren't associated with the business account program that you're issuing to them. Say, for example, if they have a family member or a friend that they manage their card, they can do that all in one place here with the app. All right, so this is kind of the exciting part. I'm going to take a minute to walk you through the new business account on myorca.com. Again, what I'm going to show you here today is what's going to become available on May 16th. So if you try to go to myorca.com today, I'll show you what that looks like. That's an informational website right now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up on my screen here. And as I mentioned here, this is the website that will go live on Monday, May 16th. What's interesting about this website is it's actually going to bring both individual transit riders who are managing their cards and businesses together on one site. So there's not going to be any more orcacard.com and orcacard.biz as separate sites. Everyone's coming together here in one place. Prior to May 16th, myorca.com will have this informational website. And we want to point out here that there's some really great information for businesses. You can compare the features of the new product versus the old one. You can learn more about how the transition is going to work. You can click on FAQs to learn more about the changes for employers, get news about our project, contact us, and sign up for alerts. So we'd really encourage you to go to this website and do that prior to the launch on May 16th. Okay, so now we're on the site as it's going to be when it launches. And because, again, your employees or your participants or students might end up on this site, I do want to take a moment to show you what's available on the homepage here before we dig into the business account login. I'm going to start with the navigation bar at the top. One of the things that we're really grateful for and glad to be able to implement in this new launch of the ORCA system is a translated version of the website for 6 languages in addition to English. We know that that's really important and helpful to many of our communities here in the Puget Sound region, so we're excited about that. Another thing that I'll show you here really quick is the ORCA Help Center. So we've got a much more in-depth and robust place for you to find more information and help as you're using ORCA. I'll just kind of preview what that looks like here. So there's some great information about the product. Certainly some information here about business programs, how they work. And then more information about ORCA by way of news, public information, contact. And again, you'll have the ability to sign up to our newsletter, which we really encourage you to do. It's a great way for us to get you timely information. There's also a contact form here on myorca.com, which we can respond to your questions and needs. And then the next bar that I'll go into here is kind of an overview of what the website actually does. There's sign in, sign up. So if you've already got a login, you can put your username and password in here and sign in. If you want to sign up for the first time, which many individual customers, that'll be kind of the first step they take on this website on May 16th. They can sign in here and link their card that they already have. There's some options here for where to get a card. So we're going to have many more retail locations, as I mentioned, but this map's going to list all of those, as well as our vending machine locations and customer service locations, along with helpful information like hours of operation. You can also get a card online. So customers can buy a card online, and there's some exciting new expansion of accessibility here too. Through myorca.com, customers can order reduced fare cards for seniors and youth. That's definitely new. So before you used to have to go to customer service to do that. Now you can do that online. And then further, for our additional reduced fare programs, customers can visit this reduced fare portal, which is actually hosted by King County Metro, to get some of our other reduced fare products like Lyft and subsidized annual pass. So we're really excited about the ability to provide access online for this, as opposed to having to go in person to get these things. Next, I'll share that you can just reload your card if you just want to do that without logging in. You're running out the door, you need to go somewhere, or you're already out at the bus stop. You can just put in your card number and add value to it just by clicking on Reload My Card. ORCA for Business. This is where our business program information is. So I just clicked on the business program information. If you know someone that's interested or wants more information, this would be a great place to start. Of course, we have our passport program, which is sort of like the all-inclusive regional pass. To get started with that, you do need to contact an account representative to set up a contract and pricing. But the choice program is a self-serve online onboarding process where you can actually sign up online and get started and have the flexibility to choose the amounts or products that you want to give your employees or participants every month. And then, of course, you can contact us. All right, great. So that's a quick overview of everything that's on the homepage here. This is everything that you can do without logging in. Now I'm going to go ahead and log into my account. I've created a demo account here for businesses. Go ahead and put my username and password in here. I'll click I'm not a robot and then sign in. All right. Also, the first time you log in on a new device, we're going to ask you for another security question. So I'll enter that here. Great, now we're in. The place that this website lands you is the place where you can manage your cards. And so you'll see a list of all the cards that are associated with your account. The good news is if you have an existing program and you have cards, all this information is going to be imported over for you. Unlike the individual transit riders who are going to have to set up a new account and link their card, business accounts are going to have their existing card information here already. So hopefully that'll save you some time getting started. All right, so let's talk a little bit about navigation here. Again, you still have the same option to manage cards or purchase cards. A new thing here is you can actually manage participants. I'll show you how that works in a little bit. You can assign participants into groups, like say you have different departments like marketing, accounting, or something else like that. And then bulk actions. This is where you can do CSV or spreadsheet uploads for more than 20 accounts. This is really great for, so you don't have to enter in requests one at a time in the system. And then here's your administrative login. So this is where you control a lot of the features and preferences that you have on your account. First, you can click on My Profile. This is where your information would be, your security questions. And then if I was an administrator, which I'm not, so someone actually created an account and sent me an invite as an additional user on this account, which is cool. You don't have to use the same username and password for everyone anymore. If I did have that top level administrator login, I'd be able to see the other people who had usernames and passwords and be able to control access. I can look at my order history. That's helpful. Invoice history. A couple things I won't go into in detail here are paying for van pool and then looking at historical reports, but do know that they're there. All right. So first of all, I'm going to go back to adding participants. So we're going to show how, very briefly, that works and what a participant is and how you can associate it with a card. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add a participant. That opens and expands this left-hand side menu here. I'm going to make up a name because I've already used my own. So let's just say Chris Transit. I'm going to skip over the email. Identifier is a unique number identifier that you need if you're going to do bulk actions with accounts, just to make sure that they're getting the right name. For example, if you have two people with the same name, that helps make sure that we're doing transactions on the right account. I'm going to go ahead and add participant. Oops, I already used that identifier, so I'll just add a 6 there. And it says participant successfully added. So I'm going to sort and just check and make sure that my name got added there. Let's see, Chris Transit right there. Okay, great. So next, what I'm going to do is go over to cards, and I'll go manage cards. And I see that there's cards here, both the card number, there's the unique identifier, the name of the person who's associated with that card, any group associated with that card. This is called top choice, but that's kind of where like accounting or marketing or finance would be. Status. So this is important because I want to make sure that if I associate a card with somebody that it's not locked. These might be locked because they were lost or stolen, but I have several active cards to choose from. And then the fare category. I want to call out here specifically that this platform does allow you to manage both adult standard fare cards as well as reduced fare cards that your employees or participants might bring to the program. All right, so I'm going to click on this active card here. I'm going to assign participant. I'm going to search by last name. There I am right there, Chris Transit. I'm going to assign card to this name here. So now you've got a new participant. You've assigned a card to them. And let's say they're starting work on June 1st, right? We want to get some products on here. So I'm going to click on this checkbox here, and then I'm going to click Manage. That'll bring that left-hand side menu open again. And we'll see that we have some options for this card. We can remove the card, we can lock it, we can unlink the participant, which is great if you want to reuse cards. You can close the card or you can replace the card. But what I'm going to focus on today is adding some funds, and I'll show you a few different ways to do that. First, I'm going to show you how to add some ePurse. Let's say you have a choice program and you've agreed that you'll add $25 to this person's card. You can click here, $25, or you can add a custom amount, but I'm just going to choose $25. I'll click Add to Cart and then Checkout. So everything looks good here. I see the card, the name, and what I wanted to add, the billing address, and then I can choose a payment method here, and I'll choose a Visa card and place the order. All right, I'll just check go to order history really quick. I want to point out a few things here. So this is the most recent order that we just did right now. It shows the amount, date, order number, and some basically like your receipt online for this transaction. You'll notice that it's processed. So this happened in real time. There's money on that card right now. There's some orders that are open, and those are orders that are associated with mailing you cards. So if you ordered cards and we're mailing them to you, they're going to be open until they get delivered, which is usually 5 to 7 business days. All right, I'm going to go back to Manage Cards. We'll look at Chris Transit again. I also just want to point out in the same way that we added ePurse, you can click on this tab right here and choose to add a regional or agency-specific pass. Again, you can choose the $3.75 or the $2.75 Puget Pass, and you can choose which month. So if I'm starting in June, and you want to add that starting June 1, you can add that to the cart and purchase for that. So I'll go through this really quick. Actually, I'll skip over this and just go back to my cards and show you how to set up an auto load. All right. So you'll see here that there's something called Turn Auto Load On. So when you're on ePurse, you can set up an auto load to regularly load the card. You can also do that with passes, but I'll just show you that for ePurse here. So I'm going to auto load on a certain day every month. I'll choose, I don't know, the 5th of the month. And I'm going to add that $25 that I've agreed to give this participant every month. I'm going to click Save. And now the great thing is this is set up. So that's ready to go on the 5th of the month. That'll actually happen tomorrow because today's the 4th. But I can always go back and edit, pause, or turn that off. All right. And with that, that's everything I wanted to do on this tour. I will point out that at the end of this open house, we will give you a link to a much more in-depth, it's about a 45-minute full demo, which really goes step-by-step through all the features and functionality. So you have that to go back and reference if you'd like to. All right, so just to kind of close things out here, in summary, we really want to make sure it's really clear that you know what you need to do during this transition. So one of the most important things is getting your ORCA business account ready. First of all, in orcacard.biz, the website that you're using and have used in the past, make sure you log in and make sure your email and mailing address are up to date. The email address in your first contact is where we're going to actually send you the invite to access your new account at myorca.com. Secondly, orcacard.biz, as we mentioned, will be retired on May 12th, so please plan accordingly and know that some of the card order quantities are going to decline leading up to that. 3, make sure you look out for the email prompt we'll send to you, again, in your primary contact email. And that will be the way that you can log in automatically to myorca.com, but know that we're here for you. If you need help, you can contact your lead agent to help you with registration. And then after registration, there are a few things that you do need to set up, some account preferences. You can add payment methods again. We're not going to be, again, taking credit card information or any financial information like that and transferring it. We're asking you to go in and add that again. And also remember, you can create multiple logins. So if you have a team of people that you want to have access to this and some backup people to help you if someone's out on vacation or something, you can go in and create those logins and send invites to those members of your team. All right, one last thing, just as a reminder, you don't need to replace your employee cards. The ones that are already out there will continue to work. Over time, if you do want to replace your cards with that new redesigned card, you can work with your lead agent on that, but there's no rush to do that. That's something that can be done much later in the future. All right, so finally, we'll leave you with some tools and resources. Here's that link to that full business website demo that I mentioned. And again, this presentation will be available on our open house website, so you can go back and reference this link. You can continue to learn more and get ready by visiting myORCA.com, which again, prior to May 16th, will be an informational landing page. You'll be able to find a getting started video. There will be a business website quick guide, which will be a step-by-step document that'll be available when the product launches. Then there's brochures and employee enablement tools. Those are kind of fancy words for email templates and posters to help you get the word out to your participants. And then again, we really encourage you to sign up to get updates that'll allow you to get our ORCA newsletter and get relevant information from us in a timely fashion. For the first time ever, we've got a social media presence for the ORCA card, which is really exciting. So please do follow us at the ORCA card on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And also know that we do have a YouTube account where we're storing informational and tutorial videos. Finally, you can visit the open house page for this presentation and other materials, and that link is listed below. All right, and with that, I'm going to hand this presentation back over to Adam. He's compiled a list of the top questions that business customers have asked us, and we're going to go over them here to make sure everyone has that information.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Let's get going through these questions. So one of the top questions we have received is, how do I log into the new website on May 16th when the new system launches? Pretty easy. We're going to send you an email to the email address that is currently listed under your primary contact information, and that email is going to contain instructions on how to access your account. So we're going to give you all of what you need in order to sign into the new website. What information will migrate over to the new website? Your card accounts, balances, card groups, card status, and more. What should you set up in the new migrated account? You're going to need to set up your payment methods, your administrator user profile, as well as provide logins to other members of your staff. And you're going to need to associate card accounts with specific employees. Do you need to replace your employee cards? Hopefully you already know this answer from the presentation. No, you're not going to need to replace your employee cards right now. Blue cards, white cards, they're all working right now, and they're going to work indefinitely in the new system. How will employees be able to use their employer-issued cards on myORCA.com? They can log in and create an account at myORCA.com to see their balance and products provided. Can you make bulk purchases? Yep, we're going to make it pretty easy for you. Starting May 16th, businesses will be able to purchase cards and add e-purse value using bulk processing. You can also set up auto loads for cards bulk processing. When is the card order cut off? Well, it actually started this week. So card orders will be limited starting this week on May 2nd to 200 cards. Starting May 9th, card orders will be limited to 10. The website will be shut down from May 12th to May 16th, and the normal card ordering will resume on the new myORCA.com May 16th. So that's going to wrap it up today for our presentation. We thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you learned something. All of the materials from today are available on myORCA.com, as Chris mentioned, and other resources are there as well. Please consider following us on social media, and if you have questions, you can email info@myORCA.com. So for everybody here at ORCA, thank you, and we'll see you soon.